up, y'all, and welcome to Who is Derek Andre TV. I am Derek Andre, in case you haven't guessed. Today, we are doing video number 3 in a series of videos that I have been releasing for a PDF that I wrote a while back called Steps in the Right Direction. All right, and the purpose of the PDF is to help parents, or people rather, that are considering entering blended family settings, okay? And the questions that I have composed are basically to give you an idea of what you might be getting yourself into when you enter this blended family setting, because it's not always what it seems. All right, there's a lot of moving parts that you may not be aware of, a lot of things that you might need to take into consideration. And even with 28 questions, I have not even scratched the surface with all the information that you might, or all the situations that you might encounter going into a blended family setting. But these are the 28 that I thought might be helpful. All right. So before we get into the video, let me do a quick little bit of housekeeping. If you're a regular subscriber, thank you so much for your support. I truly do appreciate you. If you're new to the channel, please, by all means, take a moment to click that subscribe button and the reminder bell so that you can be kept up with new videos as they are released. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. All right, give it a thumbs up. I truly appreciate that. And if you have comments, please, by all means, leave your comments or questions, whatever. If you are a seasoned non-biological parent and you have some input that you think might be helpful to people that are watching the video, please, by all means, leave your comments in the comment section below. I would truly appreciate it. Also, in the description below this video, you will find the link to the PDF that I wrote, and it's totally free. There's no strings attached. It's totally free to download. You can read ahead and you can see what the other questions are and see a little bit more about my history as a non-biological parent in a blended family setting. I've been doing this since I was 19 years old, and so I've run across some things that I'm wanting to share to maybe help you to not make some of the mistakes that I made, or to at least be aware of some of the situations that you may find yourself in. Okay, so that's the housekeeping aspect of it. All right, so let's get into the video. We're going to try to get in and get out. I'll try to keep these videos as short as possible, but pack them with enough information that you can actually utilize it. All right, so the first two videos, the questions were, do you like children? The second video was, do you have experience with children, and if so, in what capacity? And this video today, the topic is, what role would you like to play in the child or children's life? Okay, so let me read to you what I wrote, and then we'll talk about it. All right, so I wrote, do you want to be a full-on parent, or would you prefer to just be a supporting actor? Are you the fun person or the disciplinarian? Knowing this information is important because it is something that will need to be discussed with your partner. You will also have to take into consideration the level of activity from the non-custodial parent. Okay? Sometimes you may not get cast for the role you are auditioning for, so be prepared. All right, so first things first, when you are entering this relationship, because you guys have talked about, that you want to date, you want the relationship to grow, and you want to be a part of these children or this child's life, you have to talk it over with the biological parent. What role do you want me to play? All right. What role am I supposed to play? Because that is very, very important to the health and overall success of this blended family relationship. All right. There are times where there are the other non-biological parent is maybe just not active, maybe they're deceased, maybe they're incarcerated, or whatever the case may be. And that gives you a bit of flexibility in the role that you can play in this child's life. Because if there is not a father figure or a mother figure present in any other capacity, then maybe you can get that role that you want to play. Maybe that full on parent role. Okay. But in the event that the other non-biological parent is present, then you need to understand where your place is in this relationship. You can't come in thinking that your rules are now the house rules, because it doesn't always work like that. If the child or children are a little bit older, they've been operating off of a set of rules for however long that they've been in the world, okay? And so if they're, say for example, if they're 8, for 8 years, they have been dancing to the music of a certain set of rules that were set by their biological parent or parents for the last 8 years. And you can't come in thinking that you're going to change that, okay? You can't come in thinking that because you eat meat and they're vegetarians, that they should be eating meat too. I talked about the disciplinarian. You can't come in to a household where they don't spank thinking that you can spank because that's how you were raised or that's the way you were brought up and you think that's best. You can't come in and just impose your ideals on this setting, on this family setting, because it ain't your kids. Now, if you sit down and you talk to the parent that you're involved with and they say, yeah, you know what? I need some help. This child is out of control. They are driving me insane. I don't know what to do about this. And you have a set of skills that you think may be beneficial to that particular situation, then yes, by all means, get in there, do what you got to do to help this person raise this child properly so that they can maybe grow up to be a productive adult in today's world, okay? If they ask for that help. But if you come in and they say, listen, we've already got these rules set up. They go to bed at this time. They eat at this time. They do this at this time of day. They're part of this organization. They play this sport. They're in dance. They do this. They do that. If all of that stuff doesn't appeal to you, you can't come in and change it. That's not what you do. And if it seems that it's going to be too much, for the sake of your sanity and the sake of the other person's sanity, the biological parent's sanity, and by all means for the sake of the child's sanity, do not, and I repeat, do not go forward with this relationship. It's not worth it. It's not. It's not worth it to go in and think that you're going to just be able to strong arm your way into this relationship and change everything. It just doesn't work like that. You'll do more damage than good. And that's what the purpose of this PDF and of this video series is about. Planting that seed in your head. I know people that have gone into these blended family settings thinking that they were just going to be able to just do it the way that they think it should be done. And it backfires. All right? It backfires. You can't, when you read a book, you don't just open the book in the middle and start reading and think that it's all going to work. No, there's backstory to it. And in most family settings, there is a backstory. You have to understand the backstory in order to be up to speed with the current story, with the current situation. So, no, you can't just come in and say, this is how it's going to be. No ifs, ands, or buts about it because now I'm the dad or now I'm the mom and I want to. No. All you're going to do is ruin relationships. If you want to have that type of control or presence in a situation, maybe control isn't the best word, but presence in that in a parental situation, then you should probably just have your own kids if you don't already have them. That way you can say or do whatever you feel that you need to say or do in order to raise your kids the way you want them to be raised. You know, if you don't have any kids and you're coming into a situation with a person who does have kids, you got to respect that. You have to respect that, and you have to respect their wishes. And even though the non-custodial parent may not be in the household, if they're active, you need to respect their wishes as well because it's their child, you know. And if that bothers you, then you should probably get your hat and go on and move on to the next situation and see if you can find one that better suits your needs. But don't come into a blended family setting with the intention of changing things because that may not necessarily work in your favor. And it definitely won't work in the favor of the child because all that does is draw a wedge between you and the child. It could create resentment. You could ruin the relationship with the child and their biological parent because you're going behind the biological parent's back and saying, you know what? Yeah, I know your mom or dad said you can't have this candy, but candy is cool and I'm going to give you this candy. You know, I know your mom or dad said that you ain't supposed to listen to this kind of music, but it ain't going to hurt you. Here, ride with me, get in the car, put these earbuds in, and they can't hear what you're listening to. You don't want to be that person. That does not make you cool. That does not make you the hip step parent or non-biological parent. That makes you an asshole because you're coming in and you're trying to disrupt something that you do not have the right to disrupt. So, if you want to raise kids the way you want to raise kids, have your own. Or talk to this person and maybe you all can come to an agreement on how the child or children should be raised. But don't just enter the situation thinking that you are the one that are going to be in charge because all you're going to do is mess things up. All right. So that is today's question. All right. That was me answering today's question. And the question was, what role would you like to play in a child or children's life? Know that information. Know that information, understand it, and respect the role that is given to you and do it well because it might lead to a more substantial position in that relationship, in that non-biological parent role, and in that blended family setting, in that blended family household. All right. So thank you again for watching. I'm Derek Andre. You're watching Who is Derek Andre TV. Again, if you're new to the channel, thank you very much for stopping by. Please, by all means, click that subscribe button and the reminder bell so you never have to miss another video. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Please leave your comments below because I would love to hear your feedback. And download that PDF and share it with friends. It's totally free. Check it out. All right. So the next video will be released in a couple of days. I will not tell you what that topic is going to be, but you have to stay tuned. So you'll have to stay tuned. Not but. So you'll have to stay tuned. All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. I will see you in the next video. Be peace, be love, be one, and I'll holler at you soon.